Hello, hello. How's it going? Shit, I probably should have got my Diet Coke, which maybe I'll go get while people are coming in. If anybody asks where I am, I might go ahead and go get that. Gosh, I've had a headache. I'll have to explain. My daughter burnt something, okay, in the microwave. How do you burn something in the microwave? I just want to know. She somehow accomplished it. It woke me up early this morning. I couldn't go back to sleep for like hours because the smell was so freaking bad. Oh, it was so bad. But let me go grab my Diet Coke. Hey, everybody coming in. Give me 1 second. Okay. Got the microwave on fire. She put a cup of noodles in the microwave and with no water. Uh, yeah. So I made spaghetti and garlic bread last night. Okay. And Caitlin, I left the garlic bread in the oven with the oven off after I had got my what I wanted. And Caitlin wasn't hungry quite yet. So, anyways, early this morning, like literally like 7 a.m., I wake up to the most god awful freaking smell ever. And I could tell, like, oh, great. Caitlin burnt something, but it was like so bad. It was, oh my gosh. And it's still lingering. It's that burnt popcorn smell, but just like 100 times worse. And it gave me the worst migraine. I couldn't go back to sleep this morning. And it took a couple hours. So the smell finally dissipated enough for me to be able to fall asleep. But I still have kind of a migraine and the smell is still bad. But she went to heat up the garlic bread in the microwave because she wanted to soften it up. She put it in. She said she put it in for a minute and then it still wasn't soft. It's like, first of all, that's too long. And then so she said, I put it in for 2 more minutes and went to use the bathroom. And she's like, I came back and it was like smoke everywhere. I'm like, and it's like, wow, I didn't even know if you could burn something in the microwave. But she was trying to soften it back up, and obviously, oh, it's good. Right, Linda? Hey, Jam Jam. A 111 in chat. Seems to always get stuck at 111 there every day. For just a little bit at least. Hey, Robin. Rhonda. Hey, Kathy. So, Fred is probably sleeping because I haven't heard from him for about an hour or so. We're trying to just sleep our life away until we're together. Chocolate, Easter bunny in the microwave for 10 minutes, and he went to the bathroom. Trust me, burnt chocolate. Oh, God. Loomy Toomy. Loomy Tunes. I don't know. I cooked the garlic bread on aluminum foil in the oven. And I had to tell her recently you cannot put aluminum foil in the microwave. And she was arguing with me about it. So I thought that's maybe what she did was put aluminum foil in the microwave, but she claims she didn't. So Jody Sue's been posting some calls. I had the link in the description. Let's see here. I'm confused what this is all about. It says one of many willing or wanting to testify in courts against Jenny Adrian. Okay. Well, I see she put Penny's name there, and I really don't believe Penny is in any part of anything. It's hard for me to believe that. But these other ones mentioned, I could totally see that. So we'll have to see. If you forget the water, how do you forget the water? I don't know. Probably something I would do. Gosh, I've had this crappy migraine. I don't know. Oh gosh, I'm so mad. It just makes me like sick. That smell. Your grandson did that. I could see, yeah, a kid doing that. Shit, I could see myself doing that. Actually, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Just being so, airheadish and not paying attention. She is also over there talking about her two peeping toms. At first it was one, then it turned to two. Gosh, when I was listening, she wasn't even talking at all. It was just an occasional call or something. Let me see here. And then she was like, So this is a call, I guess, between TM and Jody Sue that she's playing. Not cool. I listened to a little bit of it, and it sounded interesting. So, what are you cooking tonight, Liplock?
Really?
Well,
and Jenny wanted to talk to her daughter when she's sick. She's sick.
Yeah, you talking about where she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna hold her and read to her," and
yeah, she said something like, I can't remember. We were on the phone and she was like, "I really would love to talk to Rue," and I'm like, "Do not do that. That's a minor. Like, do not talk to anybody's kid. Like, that's going way too far." I was like, "Jenny, I really think this has become like a bit toxic. Like, that's crossing the line, right?"
like,
wow. You don't freaking talk to minors like in these cases without the parents present. You just don't do that. I don't know why these people keep freaking thinking that shit's okay. Like
she was wanting to contact her somehow.
Yeah, like she wanted to have a relationship. She thought that if Andy would get your daughter, then she would be able to talk to her. This is all just they're obsessed. They're fucking obsessed. Like, you know, I draw the line. Some places you have to draw the line. Yes, yeah. I reacted to your videos. Like,
yeah, I knew that she had
shit, but you don't go in people's real lives and want to be a confidant for Jody.
I just don't understand how Jenny and Adrian really believe that it's possible that, I don't know, at this point, that somehow Jody Sue would be involved and not Andy Bernard. It's possible, but I don't know. It's just weird to me that they're going so hard on Jody Sue, but like all buddy with Andy Bernard. It seems so inappropriate. So I don't know. What's the motive? I guess we're hearing the motive, wanting to talk to the minors and their experience and what they really heard maybe that day to see if they really heard a scream.
Like, that's not normal. I don't give a fuck.
That's not normal. It tells you that it's like she said that on a live, sort of, when she got near whatever she was, or maybe it was in the back.
Yeah, I tell no lie. I would never make this shit up. Swear.
No, I'm saying in the live, in one of them, she said something similar that she wanted to.
I would be surprised that she admitted it out of her own face. She really did. I was shocked by it. I was like, wow. Like, this is.
It's gross.
It's weird.
But you got to think what she was really wanting Air Force to get information on Summer. They're tampering with every witness, whether it's a minor or not.
I know.
And they're doing that to terrify us and to try to discredit us and to harm us and break us down and to screw everything up in Summer's case.
Yeah, well, they're doing a great job. I just hope not on the end of law enforcement.
Well, what did she say when you told her that was fucked up, her wanting near my child to...
You know, it's funny because I remember it was...
But she knows something. But see, how does she know something, but yet it's not about Andy Bernard? You know what I mean? She knows something, but it's not Andy. That's just so... I mean, I don't...
The day we were talking about 333 and 337 Snaps Ferry Road, it was that day, and Cam was live. And Jenny was like, he's an idiot. And then it was that day that she actually said, what was it that you just said again? Remind me again.
And then what did she say when you told her that was fucked up, that she was wanting near my kid?
What I was going to say was she never did really say much. Like, when I said to her on the phone, and I was like, Jenny, that's a lot. Like, she didn't say anything. She's like, but in order to get, it was this stupid shit, like, in order to get answers about Summer. And I'm like, yeah, but no. Like, you're actually really trying to interfere, like, with her real life. Like, this is not just, like, that you can't, I said, you've become so obsessed with Jody's personal life.
You couldn't comment? What do you mean? It shows you commenting above, responding to lip lock and saying no. But I don't see anything else. I'm talking to Lucky Lou. Maybe someone close to Jody Sue and Andy. Yeah, but without Andy knowing. It's just so weird that they're being so hardcore on Jody Sue, but want to be best friends with Andy. It's disgusting.
What my exact words, sir, was that we were like losing track of Summer. Like, you are now taking on Jody's household situation as if it's a concern to you, and you're leaving Summer behind to focus on Jody's daughter. And Jody's daughter is a teenager, and by the time you were ever to see Andy in court, she'd be 18 anyway. I'm like, that's a lost cause, if you ask me. I said, and he's not going to fight for her, so it makes no sense. He said the man has made no effort whatsoever to have a relationship with his kids from where I sit. I'm like, you're asking someone to go to court for something he doesn't even want. Like, I don't understand all this. Like, it's become an obsession with Jody. And that's exactly what I said. It has become an obsession. She didn't have anything to say. She stayed very quiet. And more as I started, like, because I guess maybe they thought, like, I'd be cool with, like, a lot of shit just because, like, I did react to your stuff. I just feel there's a difference between what I did and what they did. They were very interested in your personal life. I was not. I did not try to get up in your business, your family. They did. I thought that was weird. I've never liked that. I don't like that. Even when people attack my family, I don't want to attack theirs. Like, I will go look around and see what I can find, but I'm not going to, like, you know, call someone's mom or, you know.
And that's true. I have to give Tiffany that. She doesn't do that. Well, let's listen to the call, Jenny. Well, you have your thought process is skewed, in my opinion. You have been, I mean, Team Andy. I just want to hear what this is. I haven't heard it yet. How should I know it's lying? You've told so much lies about me and Fred. Like, why would I know that these two are lying? I have to decipher through all the lies, not just Tiffany and Jody Sue's lies. No, because the lies you put out about him is lies. You're completely lie about him and try to discredit him and pump up Andy. You're not about Summer. You're the Wells and the Wells buddy now. All you guys are. You're a traitor. I'm sorry. It's disgusting. And then to go on freaking news and acting like you're a freaking advocate for Summer when you're wait, I promise you, you're going to find out Andy's involved and you guys are going to look so stupid. I promise you, Jenny. He was on that road that day. I don't know what the fuck you're thinking. What other reason would he say he wasn't on that road? I don't get any. Tell me one of his inconsistencies. You don't point anything out because your information is not true. You're going with your opinions, Jenny. You don't go by fact. You go by opinion because you think something that somebody says not true does not make it not true. You don't go by fact at all. Sorry. You just don't. You're a huge disappointment. You chasing Adrian. You guys are traitors, and the Wells, buddies, and Andy's buddy. And sorry, you made your choice, and you will see who you were supporting. And I want you to come back here and tell me the same exact thing, that Fred was lying. Okay?
Whatever.
I've waited. I've asked you. You can come up here and tell me straight up and debate me. The shit you're saying is so not true, Jenny. You have no proof. You go by your feelings. I have proof. Andy was on that road that day. Lots of fucking people, not just Fred. Or I shouldn't say lots. But there's a lot of inconsistencies around Andy. So it's funny to me. And I feel like you're only teaming up with Andy to hurt Jody Sue. So I don't support. This is not about me supporting Jody Sue and Tiffany at all. I can disagree with them too and disagree with you guys. But you can't even tell me in the comments. You said it last time. You tried to give me I asked you to give me one thing that he's lied about that you have proof of. And you couldn't give me anything. You told me something that he said, and you were like, that's not true. It's like, okay, proof? Where's your proof that's not true? Because you're trying to think it's not true because of stuff you've heard from other people? That doesn't make it not true, Jenny. You didn't give me 3, you gave me 0. Yeah, I haven't heard this video before. I just heard a short amount of it, and I thought that we would listen to it. I'm sure a lot of it's not true, Jenny, I'm sure. But you put out a lot of fucking lies and spread the fucking misinformation on purpose just because you want to pump Andy up and hurt Jody Sue. You're not doing it for the right reasons, Jenny. You're doing it to hurt somebody.
I felt that it had crossed the line with her. She never really did say much. I brought it up several times to her. It wasn't just once. I definitely said something to Jenny on more than one occasion about she was going too far. I told you I would testify to this, to my hand to the Bible. I told her she was going too far on more than one occasion. I was like, this is too far. You're just going too far. Like, this is not healthy, and it's not about Summer at all anymore. It's about Jody and Andy.
Yeah, make fun of Fred. Like, what's that have to do with? And maybe if you do, I haven't seen it because I don't fucking watch you, but I hear from other people in the chats. You go in fucking 6 subs. Like, come on. You're drama. You're not fucking a researcher. You're not, I mean, you research things, you look into things, but then you just like, I don't know, you don't use your common sense or something? Where'd all that freaking intelligence go that you used to have? It's like out the window. I think there's some other kind of motive with you, and it's not to find Summer. And you just even said so yourself that you're not a child, you're not an advocate for Summer or child advocate. So what are you doing then? Trying to prove Andy innocent? Or just trying to upset Jody Sue? I don't go around talking shit about you, Jenny. Do I? I don't ever go around in chats and drama about you and join in on the bullshit. So don't sit here and act like you're innocent and like I shouldn't even be talking about you right now. Like you haven't fucking been up to anything, because you have.
Their family. So I don't get that. She never did have an explanation. I never got one.
I mean, like you said a minute ago, I mean, it was that so she could get answers for Summer. So that tells you why she was aiming for my kid.
She thinks that the only thing that I could possibly draw from what she responded back with was that she
exactly. Jody Sue doesn't even like me. It's not like I'm cool with Jody Sue or freaking TM. I'm just listening to this. I'm not going to sit here and just down Jenny and Adrian the whole time. I'm just going to, unless I hear something that's to comment on, really. I'm not here to sit here and just talk shit about them. I just want to hear this.
I would have knowledge of, what happened with Summer. But even that is crazy. To even say, like, I want to get close to her daughter, to get information about Summer, that's a job that I believe law enforcement's already sat down with your daughter now multiple times. So does Jenny think that she's a fucking federal agent? Like, what is going on here? No, you don't talk to people's kids.
I mean, that's her basically. I mean, and the thing is, it's her literally aiming to set out to take away, tamper with a witness, a minor one, and get a hold of them in order to further tamper and manipulate and fuck up shit. That is the highest level of witness tampering and shit that you can imagine.
She wasn't successful. She never did make it to your daughter, thank God. But that's what I think she was trying to do with Andy. You see how they're not, like, really propping him up anymore? Like, what are they doing back there?
They're actually trying to do shit, I think, to trigger him out again, and they're now trying to eat him, but in a cursory way. But, I mean, that tells me that she had this plan in her mind and was just waiting on a moment to grab it and shoot. I mean, I'm sure she talked about this shit.
That dude, that Stan, I don't know. Fred says he knows him or knows of him. I've heard of him, but he doesn't like know him. Never. I don't think he's like met him or anything.
And my daughter, before anything was ever done with the false 5150s they were aiming for, and the emergency custody shit they were going to aim for with that SWAT shit, and with the court shit with Andy and trying to get custody. It's like the judge even told him in the courtroom not to be filing for that shit until after he could prove, and he had paid to
Not
prove that.
just that Fred said, Kat. It's about how things have lined up over the 3 years. And why do you feel that way, Stanley? Here. How about I get Fred here for you? Would you like to address him up on panel, Stanley, and tell us why you feel that way about him? Okay, let me get him for you. Hold on. Or how about he meet up with you, Stanley? He's over there. Would you like to talk to him face to face? Since you have such strong opinions, let's hear them. I mean, we value your opinion. You're a local, so we need to hear this. Because he wasn't saying anything bad about you. I don't know. He was just teasing you when he said that, had you been to the creek lately? He knows that you're out there, that you work for Stanley Cleaner. Yeah, he's never talked to you. So how would you feel? How could you say that about him? You've never even met him, Stanley Valley Cleaners. You've never met him. Because I was asking Fred about that dude. I'm like, who is that guy? I just want to see what Fred says when I read what he says. Because Fred doesn't have anything to hide. He has a problem answering anybody's questions or. Come on, wake it up. Wake it up. Yeah, we already know Jody Sue fakes freaking text. So, hey, and I know freaking Tiffany lies out the wazoo. Trust and believe. Okay, so don't think I'm taking all this freaking as truth, Jenny. I'm just saying, like, I'm just disappointed. You'll see. And I know eventually you're going to be coming to me and be like, I apologize. I am so sorry. Because I know you're a good person, Jenny. And I know you will apologize when it comes time. Just like I would apologize to you. But I'm telling you, with everything I love and everything in me, I promise you, Andy is involved. I would not say that. Allegedly, I promise you on everything I fucking love. Okay? I'm not doing this to freaking argue with anybody or anything. It's because I freaking, as close as you can to knowing without absolutely having the absolute proof right in front of you. Everything I have had talked to so many people in that area face to face over 3 years, and I have never had anything of Fred's straight up. Not any come out a straight up lie. Jenny's brought up things that are his opinion, like the Cotton thing. Fred's only met Cotton a few times in his life, Jenny. Would you just listen and pay attention to context sometimes? He went by there with somebody else to get a boat. He doesn't know freaking Cotton like that. He was giving his opinion on The Voice. Just like me and you. And you gave him a hard time and said he was lying because of opinion. That's your fucking truths and inconsistencies. They don't have any solid facts behind them at all. None of them. Well, you have no problem going into 666s and freaking talking shit when it's about him or about me and joining in on the conversation. So obviously you have some kind of opinions. I don't go around to drama chats talking shit about you. I could care less. I'm just sad, honestly. Because I thought you were a freaking good person. You're sitting here supporting somebody that I'm telling you, I know it's frustrating. And it's fine, you have your opinions, but you don't have to freaking talk shit about me while doing it. And Fred, you could look into it, but you're being completely unfair because you're buddies with Andy. You're not seeing complete red flags because you're so upset with Jody Sue that you're blinded. You want so bad to get Jody Sue back in some way, or I don't know, that you're willing to forgo freaking normal common sense. I mean, with all even Jody Sue said herself, oh, he was selling pills to 110, and then she changes it, switches it up. Then there's this van thing where little girls were offered to that shit does not happen unless you are already into that scene. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been offered a little girl. Yes, it's Jody Sue's word. But see how we're going off of hearsay? Everything's hearsay. So you can't sit here and tell me you don't have any solid proof on anything that Fred is lying. You have given me zero. Because trust and believe, I would have never fucking married him if I felt even a slight bit like he could be guilty or a murderer or a horrible person. And guarantee you right now, he involved, oh my God. You kidding me right now? I would never support that. I could never get that blinded by love. But I feel like God has purposely led me to the road that day to meet Fred that day because he's the one that saw Andy. He was in to get his word out there. He was the one that saw Andy. So now he's the target. And because he sold meth, now he's a suspect, right? Because Don mentions him as the meth dealer, and that suddenly makes him a suspect. And that, he says, oh, I'm going to go kick down the meth dealer's door. If you don't think Fred hurt anybody, then why are you talking so bad about him everywhere? What's the point? He's not lying on Andy. Is that what you think? Is it because you think he's lying about Andy intentionally? The only thing that he has said about Andy is that Andy was on that road that day. That is the only thing that he stands by 100,000,000%. Okay? A lot of the other stuff are opinions. Just his opinion of being in that area his whole life, generations and generations. I mean, the road named after their grandfather, Andy and Fred's. He has lived there his whole life. In that holler. Not Andy. Andy hasn't. He didn't live out there. Fred knows that area better than anybody else that we've had talk on this case. I'm sorry. It's just, I mean, that's not a competition or me or anything. It's just the truth. He knows, yeah, and he's going to be around a lot or know a lot of not so good characters because of the drug scene. But everybody out there is on drugs. Everybody out there is trading drugs, selling drugs, using drugs. Drug dealers aren't in the market for little girls, okay? You don't become a drug dealer and suddenly, all of a sudden, you just are now also into sex trafficking. And suddenly know all these people, you know? But I'm sorry, I won't say anything mean about you, Jenny, or anything, because I really did like you. I don't care about the other ones, but I actually did like you. And I just feel like you're just gonna, you'll see. That's all I can say. And that's what Fred says all the time, too. He's just like, people will see with time. The truth will come out. He always says that. Fred will answer any freaking question. No problem. And it always, every single time that I've had something that I feel like did not quite, like something seemed off, I bring it up to him. I'll be like, I'll be like, how could that be true if this or that or whatever? And he clears it up. Every time. Andy's had some kind of different, like, he's never had the same answer for, like, what he was driving that day. He didn't even know what he was driving that day. He even told it. I don't know.
That Rue was even his, and he did it anyway. And I know they're the ones that gave him the money.
Absolutely, I agree. I don't have proof of that. They never spoke about it with me, but
he immediately went that day and filed and put this quick, hurried line in it, and it was the dumbest shit I'd ever seen. Even the judge was pissed the second time.
Jody Sue has it live right now. You can go over there and watch it. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but it's Jody Sue's video, and I'm not going to sit here and just play it straight through because she already, like, doesn't like me.
It's like, I told you not to even do this until you went and paid to make sure that, you know, she was hurt, you know, this and the other, right? And Andy had done it anyway. And the only way he was going to have that money at that point was through them in this place and everything else. So, yeah, I'm not a dumbass. And that's when Andy and Stahl released paperwork against the judge's orders.
No, Grammy Lulu just means, like, she's trying to say I feel very certain I feel very certain about Andy. As far as holding it back info, no, I mean, there's obviously certain little things that we can't say, but everybody knows I have the worst problem keeping secrets and stuff. So no, it's just that I have been, and I'm not like downplaying anybody else's research or anything, but like I'm the one that's talked to Fred like in person, you know, several times, nonstop, like, well, not nonstop, but especially the last year, nonstop. And don't you think I would have something that didn't make sense to me that he said? I know people want to say, "Oh, well, you're in love with him, and that's why you don't want to see it or whatever." First of all, when I went out there, do you think that lifestyle seemed like something? Oh, I just want that. That was not even a thought. Once Fred went to jail and cleaned up, and I learned, got really talking to him like a lot, even more. I learned just how amazing of a person he is. And you guys, I hope we'll be able to see that someday too. And I know that many of you, if you ever met him, you wouldn't think like that. Like that Stanley guy. He's going by because Fred he has a drug dealer past. A lot of people think dealer and it's not okay. Dealing drugs is not okay. But people change, when it comes to that stuff. I don't think people change when it comes to children stuff or stuff like that. I wouldn't be able to ever excuse. So people think they try to act like I'm blindly just following him. Oh, I'm just like so in love. I just don't see the truth.
At least in the parking lot.
And I'm probably a little bit harder on Jenny today because literally a few days ago, I get a freaking a screenshot that somebody sends me of her and 666s and joining in on that bullshit, and it's just like, what the hell? Like, what are you here for? Are you here? What is your real purpose in this community? I mean, 666 obviously has zero information about any missing children. Straight negativity.
From going off while they're driving. That's so weird. They don't know
Plus,
how does that happen.
It wasn't just you were just
right
there either.
But that tells me,
that's
I mean,
a little worrisome. Okay.
she had to mention this shit to you and be planning that shit out or thinking it in her head before anything ever actually
I don't
occurred.
recall her ever saying no, because I think that all went down with Shay, because I feel like Shay was showing those documents before, and I was on a live, and that's what I was covering when I was talking. I was actually yelling at you, like, I'm pretty sure I was pissed at you about something, and that's when I was covering shit, and they said there was a big issue and your daughter was being held hostage, and I was like, great, I'm just going to shut everything down, because I don't want anybody to be hurt, obviously. Like, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. Like, I don't want to go any further, and we're going to private this. Like, please don't bother Jody. Like, I didn't know what was going on, and that's when I ended up on that. It was
Shay with the recordings at that point. Old one.
Huh?
It was Shay with recordings. It was AB that come out with the paperwork.
I thought Shay came out with the paperwork.
No, because there was no
but he
paperwork.
Has to do it for himself too, Ruby, and I feel like Fred really does want it for himself too. And right now he's stuck out there in East Tennessee. He can't come up here, so he has. If he wanted to, he could totally fuck up. But he's just really, he just is ready for a new life. He's just ready for something new. And if I find out, he knows. I'm not playing around, guys. I swear to God. Before I married him, I said, you need to tell me right now if you ever told me any kind of lie at all. Any little lie about the Summer Wells case, I need to know now. Because if I find out later, it's just like no chances. You can ask him. I asked him that straight up. So you need to tell me right now anything that you've said not completely true, you need to tell me right now. Thank you, Mama B. You guys can hold me to that too. Hold me to that, like, you know? But it has to be proven lie. Not like, oh, it was an opinion of his that was wrong. Pass me on that BS. God. We're all out our opinions. Just because he's a local that's been mentioned in the case doesn't mean that he can't have opinions on things. And suddenly, if he has an opinion, then that, if he says it and it's wrong, then that means he's lying. That's just not how it works. What we need to pay attention to is like what he's about Andy being on the road, with him saying that. He is, if that turns out to be a lie, if that turns out to be not true, what do you think I'm going to do? Because he's guaranteed to me it's true. And he's talked to law enforcement. And I've talked to other people who have seen footage of him, of Andy on the road. I have no doubt in my mind. Seriously. He needs to come forward and tell what he fucking knows. But now, you know, I'm sorry, Jenny. Like, I don't mean to be mean or anything. I think I was a little bit irritated seeing you after what I heard, you know, was sent a few days ago. So, but that's not the point of watching this. It's not the point to, that isn't to just like sit here and drag Jenny and Adrian to sit here and listening. I want to listen to it just because of the case, to see what Jody Sue says about Andy and stuff. And there's some things that were happening that we didn't know about. Now, we don't know if this is true. This is just a conversation.
Kid being held hostage and shit.
No, paperwork, like the restraining order paperwork.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I was talking about. Shay was showing that or something. I don't
She
remember.
was doing the recordings with.
Yeah, and especially in the beginning, I've relayed things. It's my fault. I didn't think that certain things would be that big of a deal. Like, I wasn't thinking that I had to repeat everything, you know. I now I'm like, in retrospect, I understand why, but at the time, I didn't see the big deal about whether or not they made it to the whatever place, scrapyard, that day or not. And like, I didn't put much emphasis on the importance of that. So yeah, there's some things that I repeated wrong, and it made Fred look bad, because then people believe certain things, and they sometimes don't remember where they heard it from, or they think they heard it from Fred, you know, they think they recall it, but it was really me or something, you know. So yeah, it's a lot of it. Some of it's my blame too. And plus a big part, a lot of people have confused Frank Light and Fred Hill since the very beginning, and they are completely different and nowhere even alike. I mean, Frank Light's gay. So that's another thing that's weird too. Fred said that he's never seen Frank Light with a woman. Like, so that's what's strange too about these stories about him. The stories that have come up about him is like about him R-ing women, because he's supposedly into boys. I see warrants across my desk daily saying in custody for this and being questioned for other offenses. Well, I know, but we would I know, and that did seem like common sense, but and I agree with you, but they've done a lot of things that don't make sense to me. Like, why haven't they freaking? I mean, they let Dawn Wells out of jail, and I mean, I'm even more certain about the parents. They're the main ones, okay? The only reason why I focus on Andy is because he is the one that says he was not on that road. And I know but that, in my opinion, to be false. So I don't understand why he's lying. Fred must be sleeping hard. I've been trying to contact him. Tell him what dude said. Hey, Donnie. Gosh. I hate that I just got all angry and stuff. Now I freaking feel bad, but I'm so tired of, it's so frustrating for all of us. We're all frustrated. We want answers, and has us all freaking irritated with each other, and we're fighting about stuff that's not important. And
with my kid.
But I could have sworn.
And another thing too is like, what would be the point? Sorry, I keep starting and stopping. I know, irritating, I'm sure. But what would be the point to? I went to Fred. Fred didn't come to me. And after the first time I interviewed him, I didn't talk to him again until the second time I went down to Tennessee. He wasn't reaching out, trying to put this info out or anything. No, he just told me, in that conversation, Andy was on the road. And it just shocked me. I wasn't expecting him to say that shit. Why would he? That doesn't make sense why he would lie about that, guys. Why? Unless, like, you guys are trying to say, oh, he's involved and he's trying to put it on Fred. I guess if you're trying to say, or he's trying to put it on Andy, I guess if that's what you're trying to say, but that wouldn't even make sense because he hasn't even been trying to. He could really have cared less to be on YouTube. When Fred and Laura were arrested, was anyone left on the property, or could anyone go up there and search for? Yeah, pretty much. People weren't going up in there, Carrie. There was people who were squatting in that place. Hey, Ava. Okay, thank you, Luminous. I was thinking about that. I was like, I wish I would have grabbed a screenshot. Because we were trying to figure out who that was yesterday. No, the only thing that he has said that he will stand, that Fred says absolutely, is that Andy was on that road and he saw Dawn coming off the hill at around it was around 8:30 and 9:30 in there with the boys in the red Subaru. But a lot of other things are just opinions. And you have to make sure, when you're going by his words, is he's talking as if it's fact? Or is this his opinion? A lot of these people, he didn't hang out with Andy and Dawn and them. He was the outcast. People don't understand that. That's something that me and Fred have been talking about. He was the outcast of these people. Andy, the Thompsons, the Smiths, the Redmonds, and even the Wells were all buddy. Fred was not in that group. Dawn was working for Redmond the week before Summer went missing, doing work for him down at his house. He knew him. He is close to these people. John Smith, Andy. Well, it's Andy and Fred's. It would be Fred's uncle too. Well, no. John Smith wouldn't be related to Fred. That's just because that's Paulie. Or wait. Oh, I can't keep it straight. No, Paulie is. No, he is related to Paulie, so he would be related to John Smith then. Also, at John Smith's, there's something people were wondering about. There's his wife. She's very manly, and she chews skull, and she has a hunchback. And somebody was seeing something about a hunchback, and they were thinking it was a male, but she looks like a male, so I don't know if that could be related or could be something. Yeah, he's been a scapegoat because just look at because, for example, look at that guy that just came in here earlier. Has never even talked to Fred. Doesn't even know him. He's just I don't associate with those kind of people. You know what I mean? So automatically, he's a piece of shit in his eyes because of the shit, because of the drugs and stuff. Hold on. Luminous, put that in chat for me, please. Or put that in a group chat, Luminous. Hey, I'm live, so, and I'm not muted. I just wanted to ask you something real quick. Oh, shit. I hear myself in the background. Can you show me that, Luminous? Can you send me that, what that dude was saying? Okay, she did. So, Stanley Valley Cleaners. He says, I don't deal with people like Fred. Wouldn't be caught dead associating with people like that. Couldn't pay me enough. And he said that he feels like you about how I feel about Andy. So I just got into it with that dude. Do you know who he is?
I have an idea, yes. It's been a long time since I've seen him.
Okay. Well, he was just being a fucking dick.
I sleeping around with somebody on the creek.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember you told me that story. He was hooking up. He's not one of. He's not one. He's like, huh? Oh, shit.
I don't like that.
Oh, yeah, because he was messing with his wife.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. You want to hang out with people like that, but you would freaking do their wives, right? All right, honey. I'll let you go. Love you. Bye. You want to hang? Couldn't pay you enough? Really? What if they gave you their girlfriend to sleep with? Then you would do it, right? Then you would associate. No, you won't associate with them, but you'll fuck their girlfriends and wives. Okay. Got it. He slept with Chad Arnold's wife, girlfriend. Chad Arnold's he's a druggie. Stanley Stammer Cleaners. He's a druggie. What the hell? You're associating with people like that? You better watch what you say, because I'll find out everything. Can't stand freaking hypocrites and people who sit there and talk shit about other people about when they're doing the same shit and into the same shit.
They were showing documents on her channel that day too. I can't remember. It's been so long, but I'm pretty sure that stuff is up right now. It's unlisted. It's all unlisted. And I'm literally want to just private everything. I feel so sick to my stomach. I'm disgusted now with so many things. You have no idea what the fuck. These people are accusing me now of showing Benny's dick and taking pictures of him. Like,
well, if it's ever needed in court settings, would you mind to testify or send in a statement saying that you personally heard Jenny planning and plotting the shit in order to get near my daughter, get control over to where she could get near to...
Jenny said it to me personally. Jenny said it to me. You can record me.
And dogs, by the way, what people want to use that too as a way. You just remind me. Fred was standing while waiting to be allowed into the holler. He was out there sitting by the road by Beach Creek in his truck where all the scent dogs and stuff were. Guess what didn't hit on him there? Scent dogs didn't hit on him there. The scent dogs hit on the driveway, not the truck. The driveway, the end of the driveway. He was around the scent dogs before they even hit on his freaking driveway. Yeah, Stanley was banging Chad Arnold's old lady. And yeah, that happened. That's been a while back though. But still,
you are. Jenny's told me straight up that she was trying to get close to your daughter. Yes, absolutely. I would testify in a court of law with my hand to the Bible. Yes.
That way she could get information about Summer.
She didn't say directly that's what, like, she didn't say I want to get close to Jody's daughter to get information about Summer. But that was her excuse to me when I was like, this has gone too far. Like, to focus on Jody's household. And she's like, well, how else are we going to get information about Summer? So it came later, but it wasn't said to me directly. That's why. It was when I pressed her as to why she was doing what she was doing. Yes.
And see, Andy would have put it, like you can see in his inbox, he's confused. He calls Jenny and Adrian liars. He says these bitches have got it twisted, and now I'm getting punished.
Them too, though. Like,
and it was about money, and Monster went for little because of money, and he would have sold them all and everything else and let Jenny and them run her in order for money, you know?
I think so too.
But that blackmail letter, it goes with the whole
Right,
kid.
exactly. Lip lock. The dogs would have hit on the truck over there if it had, if he had Summer in that truck, or if he had handled Summer or something, you know. Also, people seem to, they didn't ask Andy to fucking record for them, did they? They asked Fred. Why do you think they asked Fred? For 3 days, he recorded 15th, 16th, and 17th. But yet, he's a prime suspect. Yeah, they're having the prime suspect record for him. And yeah, okay. See, I wish that they could just come out and say that that's true. But of course, they're not going to give up their people who have, you know, and I guess it's recorded for them or done anything for them. They're not going to give that up. But I wish we could just prove that, because then people could shut the fuck up, because at least you could say that Fred's not lying about recording for those 3 days and asked by law enforcement. Because all that people have right now is like, oh, they're trying to act like he just lied and made that whole thing up. He just made it up. Complete lie. Just made up. He never recorded nothing. The whole laugh thing, that whole thing, just a big lie. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say it like that, country girl, because nobody's arrested and we know the person is out, you know? The people are out because nobody's arrested. It will all come out. Yeah, but it's like, it's so, you know, thank God that Fred takes it better than I do, than him. He doesn't, it doesn't even bother him at freaking all. I wish I could even be more like that, but I mean, it doesn't bother me, but when I know things that are so just not true. Now, of course, it's a lot of it is hearsay, but over 3 years, I would have things not making sense. Like, I would be like, that's not what you said this time, or you not what you said that time. Hey, Mama T. So I don't have some kind of weird vendetta for anybody in the case or anything like that. It's just because what I've said is what I know to be the truth or feel to be the truth. It's not for content. It's not for drama. It's not for any other means. But just to hopefully open people's eyes and get them kind of curious a little bit more about certain people, certain ones, particularly a certain one. They do hang on every word. You can't do that. There's so many liars in this case. And you have to freaking, and And people, you just can't. And do people think I just believe Fred from the start? I mean, go back to my earlier freaking lives and stuff, or very early on. I looked into him more than anybody. Yeah, we were hoping that we would hear something today, but we're just trying to be patient and give it to God and know that there's some kind of purpose behind the time, how everything's playing out and stuff. I want him out of freaking Tennessee, because of everything with this case and stuff. Because there's people, because of what they hear on YouTube or hear people say, that truly believe that he's involved. And I don't want, I just don't see where people come up with that. It just doesn't make sense to me. There's nothing that I've seen that could tie Fred to what happened. Right, DD? How old's the oldest Wells boy now? He's probably only like 15, so we still have another, 3 years? And that's if he even will talk. But that's the oldest one, too. He's the one that's most affected by everything and dealing with things the hardest, so we hear. So I don't know if that's going to make him want to speak out or if it's going to make him want to retreat and not say anything. If he knows something, then I don't know if he'll want to speak. Yeah, God has a reason, and I have to trust him and his timing. And I just want to say this because I freaking feel bad. I'm sorry, Jenny, for getting so upset with you. I was really in my feelers. So everybody's allowed to feel however they want to feel or whatever. I wish people would put their alliances and their battles aside to really look at things unbiased. People are so many people are so just got these wanting, they're letting their pride get in the way. Intelligent people that could be putting their time elsewhere, that are freaking smart but common sense dumb. And hey, I'm not saying talking shit because I'm freaking not very common sense. Oh, well, this is a new call. Fred was wanting me to show something, but I don't know. He did a video for you guys. All right. Hold on, we'll listen to this. I'll pull it up, I guess, and I guess that now people... Hold on, I'll keep playing this while
They're
I.
going to be taking child support owed, child support paid, whatever, right? And Monster and Stahl would have done it to get me paying child support too, on top of everything else they've stolen and done and ain't paying, and the money they're making, the fortune they've made, and behind the scenes of being pushed to them to do what they've done to us, as it looks like, oh, he's just all quiet and shit. No, he ain't. And he ain't ever been. It's horseshit.
Wow, Days for Justice is in White Boy's comments under his last post. That's so
Yeah,
weird.
she's been circling in there. She's been making her appearance again lately.
Okay, this is weird. I'm sorry. Where did this come from? That now I'm alleged. I've never taken a photo of Benny in my life. I would never do that to him.
And Brooks coming back out on the scene this blatantly. I mean, this is weird times.
And someone's got him believing that I would. Like, to the point he's like, you didn't, like, really do that to me, right? No, I would never. But someone's in his head enough for that. He's doubting me like that. So that's fucked up.
Right, Kelly?
You know what I mean? What is actually
True,
happening
true.
with White Boy and Jay? See? And then, I don't know. Benny brought up that guy the other day. I don't know.
Doohickey was a mod for Jenny and Adrian and them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like Doohickey. I think she was working for them the whole time.
She was. I knew this from the get when I let her on.
I feel that way about someone else, but I won't say that to you. But I
No,
just
I'm aware.
okay.
Never think I'm not aware. I'm aware.
I know you're, I know you're not, and I'm not saying that's the case. Listen, I'm just saying I have my doubts. Like, okay, well, I don't really trust that particular.
Well, why else would people still be currently copying my chat? For what purpose? And everywhere I go, they're copying the chats. It don't take
I don't
a
know
leap.
if it's for all the rage over there at AB's. He didn't even take Thanksgiving off. Fuck. You couldn't even eat Thanksgiving dinner with your kid without AB being like, that actually really pissed me off when I opened YouTube and saw he was live about you on Thanksgiving. I could have actually punched him in the face. Yeah, he went live on Thanksgiving night with you in the subject and everything. And I was just like, this is so fucked. I remember I went in my Discord and I'm like, this motherfucker can't even leave her alone on Thanksgiving. Like, that's gross.
It's abusive. It's a tactic. Jenny and Adrian, all the manipulators, are going to know it hits the same centers as Monster doing shit. And he would enjoy it too, so he'd probably ask for it. All holidays, the some bitch shows up. I mean, it's just one of them things, and they know dates matter. But either way, I didn't pay any attention on Thanksgiving because I was with my family celebrating Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's a loser.
So whatever, and that's where Jenny and Adrian and all them and Penny are right now. It's telling.
Well, Penny's hiding, and I have not forgotten about her, but hey, now we have Ryan and Jen running around, so.
Oh, God. Yeah, are you... that's another one. God. Come on. Anyways. Sorry. I'm getting... Fred recorded some... he's going to show... Fred recorded a video for you guys. He made content, guys. Are you proud of him? And he made a video showing the location physically of all the cameras, where all the cameras were, and pointing them out in person at the location. So I'm gonna play that in a second. And also, he also did a video of Fields Road, where the Bernard property is. He shows the gate that was put in, where you'll see, so you get a visual, and you'll see that there's how overgrown and stuff it is in this gate that's there, that Andy just noticed was there on the day that Summer went missing. When he suddenly went over to his Fields Road property, for some reason to check it out, he says, but then finds out, oh, there's no road to the property anymore. There's there's no driveway to the property anymore. They took it out. Fred's like, there's not been, that road hasn't been there for a freaking year. And you're just now noticing? But 1 second.
Great. These people have literally like made me sick. Truly made me sick. And I don't even feel like I'm myself right now. It's gross. They're all gross. And I'm sad for Summer. She doesn't deserve this. And I wish I could fix it. And it's making me angrier and angrier. And there's nothing I can do. And I do wish, like, the state of Tennessee would step in. I mean, if she was to be found today, who would have rights to her? They would. So why are they not advocating for her? She's on the National Center for Missing and Exploiting Children. She's the most exploited child I've ever seen. Why is this happening to her?
Yep.
That's my question. Why are they allowing? When do they step in and say no? Like, no more. Like, when does that happen?
Yep.
And I hate that because it would take, but do we really need Summer's? Everybody here knows Summer's information. Everyone in this community, but those 340,000 followers on Pinterest have never seen Summer's face. Why is he hiding her? Why is he?
So I don't know about Summer being the most. I think that we think that because we are here in the community and we are focused on her so much. I mean, but if you look at like the Sebastian case, it's hard to say, which child has been exploited the most, but we do need their face out there too. So we can't have everything like we want. Yeah. Penny didn't. Tiffany is the one that hides. She's the one that hides. I'm sorry, Tiffany, but that's that when the heat gets too hot, you take off a couple weeks. I know that you've told me before. And just take a mental health break is what you say, which is fine. But Penny has a lot going on and a lot going for her. She has a family. She's in school. She has she's military. She has a lot. Okay.
He hiding her away from 340,000 followers on Pinterest, but he's over here. See? That's my question. And he won't share her over there to 340,000 new faces.
Who is she talking about?
Her? That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird.
Is she talking about Ryan?
No. I don't buy what they're selling at all.
Yeah.
And it's probably a good thing that I wasn't the neighbor, because I'd probably be arrested by now. So,
Well.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know.
Is she talking about Ryan? He has 340,000.
I'm gonna lay down for a little bit. I don't know.
Who is this person with 340,000 followers that she's talking about? Because
All right then.
All right.
Talk to you later.
yeah, we have the parents to blame. They're the one that caused this. They're the reason she's gone. All right. I had it pulled up. Okay, there's that video. Okay. Is there a way to open this? Shit. I don't know if there's going to be. Okay. We download that. Click to open and sorry, I'm trying to bring up this video of Fred's. Okay. We'll come back to this. So I wanted to wait to play these videos until me and Fred were in the same household because I wanted him to be able to help tell us what we're looking at in real time without having to message him. But he does talk in the video, but it's for people who don't know the area, it's going to be kind of hard to picture everything. Especially, this is the Fields Road video. It's only a couple minutes long. So, Fred, are you on Fields Road right here yet, or? I'll upload these separately too. And they're separate little content. So here we are going down Fields Road, I guess. All those woods there. Look at all that. The vault. So what's this that you're driving down right here? This is still Fields? Nope, there's a point to this whole video. Lucky Lou. Hold your britches.
Andy, why was you here on the 15th? You hadn't been here in years. Why was you looking for Dobbs here? The road's not been in years. You just discovered that on the 15th?
Good job, Investigator Fred. So this is on Fields Road, and this is the gate. Okay, this is what's up now, cutting off his driveway. Look all the overgrown trees and stuff. Andy went out there on the 15th to Fields Road, claiming he was going down to the Bernards, their property out there. He didn't know this gate was up. Which tells Fred he hadn't been over here for over a year because that gate's been there for a year. So on the day of the 15th, what made Andy decide that he was going to go all the way down to Fields Road out of nowhere just to go look? I mean, it's not just, but like, well, I don't know. It's just weird. Cutting off the Bernard driveway. They have a property on Fields Road. They have several properties. This is their property on Fields Road, the Bernards. And Andy went there on the day of, he told everybody he was going to go down and check out the Fields Road property. And then when he got back, he's like, I didn't know they had a gate up there. I didn't know they took out the driveway or cut off the access to the. So it's just an observation. Like, that means he just hadn't been out there for, all it means is he hadn't been out there for a really, really, really long time. And for some reason, on the day that Summer disappeared, he thought to go there. And this is like a few miles away, right, Fred? I mean, it's at least a few miles away. It's close, but not like walking distance for a 5-year-old. It was Andy, not Jody Sue.
Andy, why was you here on the 15th? You hadn't been here in years. Why was you looking for Dobbs here? The road's not been in years. You just discovered that on the 15th?
Mm-hmm. Okay, now we have a much longer one. Give me 1 second. Now this one's him. He starts the video right when he gets on Ben Hill Road. No, it doesn't open. I guess I don't know if it opens. There's no drive. I don't know. I don't understand how all that is because I don't understand how it used to be. You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted Fred like around because I don't know what it used to look like. But oh, thank you, Linda. It's in her video talking to Ellen. Who's Ellen? Yeah, this was the area of like supposedly where there was some disturbed ground found by EquiSearch. Supposedly it was at this property or at that property we just showed on Fields Road. That was where the disturbed land was found allegedly. The gate is for the other driveway. Andy's driveway is no longer there. Oh, okay. The gate's for the other driveway. Oh, okay. So the gate isn't even, okay. She used to have property on, she's a Simpson or Ellen Simpson. Okay, so this one is like I said, him turning on right when he turns on Ben Hill, and he's going to point out all the cameras. To me, it's kind of difficult to know what you're looking at unless you know the area because it's so close up, because it's a That's just how these phone cameras are. The gate was open to the other driveway. Yep, that's it, Lucky Lou. That's the Fields Road area. But it wasn't just, that was in that area, yes, Bell and Fields, but it wasn't just like the Bernard property that they were focused on, I don't think, but I don't want to put it out like that because I don't know that for a fact if that's all that they were searching, but I don't think so. I think they were searching all around out there near Bell and Fields. Coming up on the right is 110. There's a bench there now with the little, looks like you can't really see it because it's the quality. I mean, it's not the best, but you get the idea. That's right, I guess, where the wood pile was too. So I just figured that makes sense why that dude doesn't like you. Now I just thought of it because of you and Chad Arnold are good friends, and he was sleeping with Chad Arnold's freaking wife. Now it all makes sense, doesn't it? Stanley Steamer Cleaners. You're just a little bitter Betty. What can I use instead of Betty? A guy's name. Bitter Bobby. Bitter. I don't know. Shit. Just mad because a drug addict got your woman. A drug addict was able to keep his woman from going to your dumbass. Well, you weren't really good friends. I shouldn't say good friends with Chad Arnold, but you were good friends with Jason Arnold. I better fix that. But of course, he knew you and Jason were cool too because of Chad were cool because of you and Jason's friendship.
Camera locations on the end would be the Thompson's camera.
Okay. Thompson's camera. This is the camera that supposedly this is one of the cameras that people have supposedly seen Andy on the road that day. So here's the location of the first camera that Fred's showing you here. Thompson driveway.
Camera locations on the end would be the Thompson's camera at 145.
Oh no, you deleted Hair Curlers and Crime. I'm sure Kathy didn't mean to do that. It is pretty, but squeaky, squeaky.
Another camera location at 165.
Wait, where is 165? Where's 165? I didn't even see it.
Another camera location at 165.
That must be before the. It must have been before the driveway or something. Where's 165? I don't even see it. Right there. It's right there. Okay, so before.
Another camera location at 165.
Okay.
Another camera location at 167. And
What?
Andy, you're on all of these.
No, what was that again? What was that again?
Another camera location at 167. And Andy, you're on all of these. John Smith, Andy's uncle.
Was there a camera there, Fred? Or was that just his. What is that just. Was there a camera there or was that just showing John's property? A lot of the cameras were Fred's. A lot of, many of the cameras were Fred's. They were trail cams, and yeah, they were to watch for law enforcement. Partially. I mean, I don't know if it's just law enforcement, but.
This would be David Mason's driveway, which is now sold. Man in Johnson City is owning it. And Dan Redmond's property.
So, okay, so Redmonds have a property. No camera at John's, okay. You don't clean other men's carpet.
And supposedly Andy turned and met the blue truck right here.
So, okay, so I was wrong before then that Andy didn't go all the way at the end, because come to find out, the last two cameras didn't get Andy on the road, right, Fred? The last two didn't at the very end. So he had to have met them at around this area.
And supposedly Andy turned and met the blue truck right here. because he was not on the last two cameras in here of my cameras. Which is another camera location at 207. This is 207. And the last camera location of mine on 207.
Cross that way. Wasn't there pigs out there right there, Fred? Was there pigs out there when Summer went missing? Oh, pigs was further up. Okay. So it's coming back out the holler. As you can see how far he's gone. Now he left 207 a while back. He's still going. See how far he is. He's not like right next to the wells nor Jody Sue and them. See ya, Lolly. Did I see your email? No? Oh, look.
So you being not on the last two cameras, Andy, you had a turn right here. Scent was detected on this driveway, but the cameras never showed them.
So he just said, okay, the scent was, so there was a scent detected. He just passed on a driveway. And I'm reading your, I see your email, Harmony. I'm reading it in between. No, I got it. I'm just, it went in my junk folder. I fixed it. So who is it? Whose property is this? that Richard? Richard's. Wait.
Scent was detected on this driveway, but the cameras never showed them.
Richard, okay, yeah. Dang, that's loud.
This is the first camera unit.
It says this was the first camera he was on. Right here at, what's that, Thompson's? There's this, what is that, Simpson Loop? Or Simpson Road? Maybe not. I don't know. Look how far down that drops, too. Simpson Lane, okay. There's 110 again. There's some good people, I'm sure. I mean, I know Fred's a good person. I know a lot of people don't know him like I do, but
This is where I parked my truck on the 15th until they got the road open. I was parked there for 45 minutes while dogs was all around. Plus everybody else's vehicle that the dogs was around.
okay, then he comes up here to Beach Creek.
When you pull up to the stop sign right here, you look straight down Beach Creek. And the first thing you see is Simpson Loop. That's right where the YHHR was set.
So it's hard to tell from that video, but it's like right after that little bridge on the right, that little metal bridge on the right, isn't it, Fred? And he could see, you could see from right here, right? When you look down that way, you could see the white HHR.
YHHR was set.
So I'm going to upload this separately. I'll just put it as Fred takes this. I can upload them separately. I'll upload this tonight. and people can use them for reference for if they want to. Because nobody's done that yet. Nobody's going to know that information like Fred's going to. Because a lot of the cameras were his. Yeah, I'm glad you did that. So yes, you could see Fred is that gay at the very end. You said Andy went to the end and came back out. He didn't. So I guess it wasn't all the way to the very, very end, past 207. It was right where he says that he met that guy, or I can't even say it was a guy, met the vehicle. And so it would have been actually before he even got to 207 or the Redmond's property that's at the end. Redmond's own a lot of the property back there, not just at the end. Let's see. But I like that video a lot. I'm glad that you put the commentary to it as well, because none of us would have had any idea what we are really looking at. And unless you've been there and kind of know some of the landmarks, otherwise a lot of people are just going to see a bunch of trees and, you know, it doesn't mean anything to them really. But so yes, Chad. Okay. Harmony, are you still in here? Chad was the guy that was at Fred's house that summer, or that Candace, that saw Candace. But Fred didn't know Chad was there, right, Fred? Like he had come there, he had stopped by there while you were gone, right? Isn't that, or did you know he was there? I'm afraid to mention something wrong. I'm just reading Harmony's email and trying to answer some of these, like Cotton Simpson's sister owned a white HHR, and let me see here. Maybe I can pull up that screenshot right here. It's Cotton Simpson's sister had a white HHR at the time. Now she has a blue one. This picture was taken also by our very own Frederick Hill. You didn't know Chad was there until later. Because life is beautiful. Everybody else's, I've been on this for years, okay? This has been my life for years. Everybody else's information has not made sense, has contradicted, they've come up with different, they come up with different answers, different times. They say they don't know. So, yeah. Be cautious and read between the lines. Come on. Like I haven't been on this for years. Like I haven't been cautious. Like, come on now. People act like this just happened yesterday or I've just been on this yesterday, or been looking into this case since just yesterday and talking to people since no. LLE and TBI have copies of the SD cards. Okay, I will. Harmony, I'm still reading your email. So yeah. Sorry. Well, thank you for the email, Harmony. I need to reread it. I didn't get to read all of it yet. So I'm gonna read it right when I get off here. Yeah, Chad has only spoken to Ellie about the case. He was finally able to talk to Chad recently, yes, but it's very, very difficult to get a hold of him because he's always here, there, and everywhere, and he's really depressed, so I hear. I don't know. Just he doesn't want to be a part of the YouTube stuff, I guess. But yeah, Fred talked to Chad for the first time in a long time, right? I don't know how long it had been. At least a year, I would think. But he had to hunt him down. You had to go find him. Back in the days that you went to places that had me scared. Let me see what else. Let me see what you said before that. Oh, well, because people were scared of Fred, I guess. Which is funny because he's like one of the best. I mean, seriously. And I know people, they won't give me shit because, you say this about him and but he's in trouble for selling drugs or whatever. It's like, doesn't make everything about him bad just because he was doing this one bad thing. Like, doesn't make him a child unalive or a child, a freaking pedo, which is disgusting. I don't even like to say it. It's so gross to me. Candace was the only one said someone was with Chad. Did she really say that, though? What's that? That was what was not said by this person, Ziggy. Oh, okay. What was it? I remember the first night that Fred took Ziggy out in the woods. When did he take me out in the woods? That sounds weird. Took me out in the woods. Where did he take me out in the woods? I mean, we've been out in the woods since like over at when I was over at Kathy's. We checked out her property. I'm fine. It's not like I'm like super sensitive. I'm gonna go after everybody who freaking says something bad about Fred. I'm not like, I know people are gonna look into him. I know people are gonna have questions and stuff and theorize about him and stuff. It's just the ones that what bothers me is the ones that are potentially just seem to be targeting him because they are mad because they are protecting Andy or something. And they want to look good for Andy because they're trying to they're probably just trying to get information out of him. Probably none of these people really are even supporting him. They probably know he's involved and figure they're going to be the ones to get him to tell something. That's probably what they're going to pull. Watch. They're going to pull a Benny Keys. Like Benny Keys did when he turned on the wells. And then he tried to say, oh, guys, that was... it was meant all along. I had that planned all along, guys. Aren't I smart? Where I don't even see I don't see Tiffany Marie. Not really about anybody or about anything. I'm really not wanting to get in an argument. I haven't even been listening to what, am I in trouble? I haven't even been listening to it. What do I do? Here, let me unblock Tiffany. There we go. All right. Tiffany's unhid, but I don't know if I'm wanting to do the panel thing because I've already got myself all upset earlier and I'm not trying to argue. What is it that what is it oh, there she is. Let me actually use the bathroom while I decide if we should do this. I'm almost out of Diet Coke. I need Diet Coke for it. All right, let me pee real quick. I'll play this. Like, why isn't the... Come on. Okay, 1 second, Tim. Come on, Peter.
Camera location will be at would be the Thompson's camera at 145.
All right. Okay. Here's the link. So I'll upload this like later on in a separate video. Chris is texting. He wants to say hi to everybody. He's saying Ziggy and Fred are the nicest people ever. And I love them both. Ziggy and Fred kissing in a tree. Kissing, then comes love, then comes marriage. Okay. I live 3/4 a mile from 110. Yeah, it seems further than that because of just how slow you have to go on the road and stuff. His family has property there. It still hasn't gone through the whole courts and stuff. So right now it's still up in, it's all in limbo. So yeah, 167, 165, 207, they're still Hill's property, but it's not just Fred's. We're not trying to say it's just Fred's or anything. It'd be split between the three. Well, we'll see. Maybe, hey, I have to give her a chance to tell me what she wanted to talk to me about. I mean, I could always drop her if it gets too much and I don't want to deal with right now. You know what I mean? Because I already got my anxiety is already freaking up because of earlier. Yeah, the woods are vast. I'd like to know why Gavel believes Andy about being on the road. Does she have anything other than his word? Well, yeah. She's told, I mean, we're told that supposedly he was on camera on the day Summer went missing, that he was at work on camera. But the thing, so that's one of the things that they use as their defense. But the thing is, like, that doesn't mean he was on camera the whole day. You know, come on now. Ed Redman, Richard Redman. Okay. Thompson, I'm not sure, but I know that they are kind of staying to themselves, because otherwise they would have came out by now with what they know. But I'm guessing they're not wanting to be bothered, or they would have already. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I truly believe that their hate for Jody Sue, or their competition with her, is so intense that they just don't want to. They just don't. They've let that overshadow everything, and what's important. You know, that's just my opinion, because they got into it. And I just don't see how Jody Sue, if they're going to say Jody Sue's involved or whatever, how they could say that without Andy being involved. I just don't see that being a thing. Chris, it's you. You'll have to wait. We're going to do TM first, okay, Chris? And then you can come up after and say hi to everybody if you're around. Yeah, she doesn't have to put her camera on. Is Thompson's related to Layla's case? Just curious. I don't know. That's a good question. Well, you guys, we'll tell you. This is one very interesting story about the Thompsons, like, that Fred's told me. It doesn't mean anything, but it's every summer, right, Fred, that they have a bunch of kids. They have some kind of big, like, it's like a camp type thing where they have kids from all over come and camp out. He says it's like about 30 kids, and this is every summer. So, and that's something that hasn't been talked about, that people don't know about. The Thompsons have, they would also have foreign exchange students all the time from other countries, and have all kinds of kids on their property and stuff. Not that it means anything. I'm not saying that it means anything. I'm just saying it could be something that it doesn't even have to be anything about Thompson and their character. It could be, there could be something with, I don't know. It's just good to know about it. And what is it, Fred, did you say? Like, what is the whole, what are they go out there and they all camp out. They all stay in tents. They have like this, how long of is it, like a couple week type deal? Someone is keeping info close to chest. I feel like it's like several people. And I don't know how, and the reason why they're able to do it is because they all equally have something to lose or something to hide. And it might not be anything to do with Summer's disappearance, but it could be some of the activities that were happening before then, before her actual disappearance. Oh, hell no. Damn. Oh, okay. So it's around Halloween. So when they have this whole event over there out on Ben Hill, it's around Halloween, and they have about 30 kids from all over the United States and world come camp out. Also, they take in, like I said, they take in foreign exchange students and stuff. I don't know. It's just you don't have anything good to say. That was the last time you saw him there? Okay, around Halloween. Well, you wouldn't have been around this last Halloween, so. Vitamins and Tylenol and fluids. Well, thank you, Joe Marie. I don't know if she changed her mind, but we'll give her a few more minutes. Otherwise, I'm sure she's probably going to try to tell me. I mean, I'm fine. It's fine if it's negative about Fred. Let's handle it. Let's debunk it. Okay, that's fine. I doubt that she'll get Benny on the phone because she's not going to want him to get in trouble. Oh, okay. It's about the other. Oh, okay. I'm interested in hearing it for sure, for real, Tiffany. So, we're not scared of certain things coming out because there's nothing to hide. So. Let's at least try to be if nobody's talking shit, then we can be decent too. We can talk about the information at hand and not have to talk crap about each other. Good. I'm glad to hear that. But if she has something that others were saying about Fred, I want to hear it and see, what. Just, I want to hear why they're thinking, why they. I feel it's just because they have such a vendetta against Judy Sue. Let me see. Let me make sure. Is that you, Tiffany?
Yep, it's me.
Okay. Okay.
Hi, Cindy.
How's it
How are
going?
you?
Oh, I'm all right. Kind of
Good.
got a little bit fired up earlier, but that's why I
Yeah.
wasn't really excited about like another round because it
No,
gets me going.
I'm not here to upset you at
I
all.
know,
And
but I'm sure the information is probably going to upset me, but that's okay.
well, first, no, I do wanna say I congratulate you because I haven't spoken to you, and I'm not gonna judge I'm not
Right.
gonna judge your decisions. I know many have given you a lot of, crap about who you love and whatnot, and I don't do that to people. Who you love is who you love, and I'm happy that you found happiness.
Well, thank
And
you.
yeah, congratulations on your wedding and marrying Fred. I hope that you guys are happy and that all good things come to you both.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Same to you.
Thanks. So, I was listening earlier. I didn't know that Jody was live, and I had just gone into my Discord quickly. I've been kind of distracted with a few other things, and I turned it on and I was listening to your live, and I wasn't really even sure what it was. So I listened a bit, and then I was watching like what was going on in the chat and such. And it brought me back to the 13-hour phone call that I was on. Do you remember about the 13-hour call with Jenny and Adrian and Scott and Penny?
I
All
think
of
I
that.
remember you saying something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it
I
was
wasn't a part of it, but
no, you had nothing to do with that.
yeah.
There was no, I don't even think there was any mention of you in that call. If there was, I don't recall that. I do
Okay.
recall, though, a lot of discussion about Fred. And
Okay.
during that time, so, and the problem is with this is I only have my word, obviously, because I did not record that. Jenny is the only one that has that call, gavel. So it was 13 hours. I do know
Okay.
she has all of it because she told me she was recording. I would have recorded the call if she hadn't said that she had it. Because at the very beginning of the call, I had said, "Is someone recording this?" And at the time, so to kind of trace back to what had happened, it was when I was live that day. Jenny had come up, Penny was up there. Jenny started crying. She was really upset, saying that we needed to shut down the live because Jody's daughter was being held hostage. Yeah, it's up on my channel. It's in the fake Fed playlist. So if you go to my playlist section on my channel, it's all there.
Okay.
So I think there's 26 or 27 videos in the fake Fed playlist.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I was live. We were going over a whole bunch of stuff to do with Jody. And that was when Shay Safe Place had shared documents about the restraining order between Andy and between Jody. And she was sharing a call between Jody's son and Andy that somehow they got their hands on or whatever. I didn't ever hear that call because I was live on my own stream. And Jenny came up. She said we needed to stop, that something was going on at Jody's. She couldn't say what. And in the meantime, I got a text from Penny saying, "Tiffany, it's serious. It's a hostage situation." I've put those screenshots out like to prove that that happened. But
Wow.
while we were on the call, they were discussing Fred and his involvement with Summer's disappearance and what they were going to do, and what their plans were when they went to Tennessee. So I think it's interesting in watching how Gavel just reacted to this. And my conversation with Jody, what you just played, I stand by every word. I have never backed down from anything, nor will I today, because I meant every word that I said to her. I had no idea that they were doing all of that behind the scenes. I was live for like, I don't even know how long, probably 6 hours at that point that day.
Well, and was this around the time that they were talking about going to Tennessee and stuff like
Yeah.
that, or had they already been?
It was months before. So it was literally, so that
Okay,
would
so-
have been two months then they were out there. So it was already in the works. The trip, I was actually supposed to go. Benny was supposed to go. It was the trip that they had left him behind. Do you remember that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I've also just gone back through. So I was searching while I was listening to all this. I was like, let me search Fred's name in my text messages. And of course, when I pull up my text, I have a plethora of texts from Jenny, especially from Jenny about Fred. And I don't mind sharing those with you. I do think it's important because what I'm seeing from her is that she's basically trying to shut down why she would shut. First of all, if anybody should be like, put off by a phone call being put out, it should be me, right? It's me and Jody talking. Jody recorded it. Why is Jenny upset and I'm not? I'm not upset because there's nothing that I said on that phone call that is upsetting to me, right? Why is Jenny bothered by that? I don't understand. But on the call, they had plans to fuck with Fred when they went to Tennessee, and they talked about that. So I am bothered by the fact that Jenny is, I mean, like,
it's supposed to be about Summer Wells, not about like messing with other people, and you know what I mean? Like, that's what's crazy
about Summer to Jenny. I think at one point in the beginning it was.
Yeah.
And these escapades have gone on and on and on for so long that, I think it did start off with, she cared about Summer, but then it quickly turned to focusing on Jody and her household.
Yep. Obsessing.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
And it was very obsessive. And I remember telling Jenny, this isn't healthy. Like, you really need to stop with Jody's life, because I'm going to say right now, I don't think anybody has covered Jody as extensively as I have. And I never went and crossed the line into, talking to her family, reaching out to her family, making phone calls and becoming friends with Jody's, family members, wanting to get close to her daughter, wanting her daughter removed from the household. They actually staged a fake hostage situation to get her daughter removed. And I feel like, when did that become acceptable? Is it acceptable just because it's Jody? I feel so, yes, because I've seen over the last several months things come to light over in the community that I come from, where people over here that have condoned what went on with Jody stand against it with someone else, where they're up there preaching about, this is horrible. We would never do this, and they did it to Jody. And that is the truth,
I think that's what she's trying to deny. That didn't. I wish there could be some kind of proof with the whole her trying to talk to Jody Sue's daughter, which I didn't even listen to the whole call, so I don't know. Because that's like I think that's a big no. I can't even believe she would freaking.
Well, I would put my hand to the Bible and testify in a court of law. So if that's not good enough, I don't know what would be.
No, I believe you. I know people were gonna say, like, I believe you about the about the messing with Fred thing too, because they've been so, I don't know. They just really, I feel like the only reason why they attached to Andy was to get to Jody Sue. It's all it was. I don't even think that I have a hard time. Do they actually believe he's innocent?
Yes, they absolutely stand by Andy in every sense of the word. There is nothing that they will not do for that man. And I've even said they don't know him.
Yeah.
I've watched Jody even defend Andy where certain things are concerned, and she's saying, I don't want to defend Andy, but I don't have a choice because the truth is the truth, and I'm not going to let them lie on this one particular situation. I've seen her even put his name in her title, whereas she's come a long way. Whereas before, and I haven't talked to Jody in quite a while. It's been a while because I've been super busy over the summer, but I've seen her go from not being able to even say or mention his name to saying your people that say they have your back are creating a really big monstrosity here for you, and you don't even realize it. And this didn't happen. This didn't happen. This is not true. And I do think that there's a lot of validity to some of the things that she's trying to get across. And I do feel that she has been, I feel like a lot of the things that Jody has said where she's come, I don't feel like she feels like she's being heard. And I think that in the long run, people are going to be probably surprised and maybe even ashamed that they've done some of the things. I mean, I had to check myself at one point too with how I was handling Jody. I felt, okay, I've been a little too hard on her. Like, I really have focused only on Jody for a couple months, and I don't normally do that. I'm just focused on one thing on my channel. You know what I mean? I don't want to be targeted toward one person all the time. I don't like that. I feel like it's dogpiling. And I am at fault in many ways for probably even kicking off a lot of things that have transpired because they all flocked to me. And then with that phone call, they wanted my approval. They wanted this community to support what was going on with trying to get her daughter removed. But you just brought back like so many conversations in that phone call about Fred, because Fred was a topic for a long time. He always has been, because I think that there's been a little bit of mystery behind, his name and a lot of the ongoings with Fred down there. A lot of people saying that Candace and Dawn had gone to Fred's afterwards, which I don't know. I don't know what, I don't know what happened.
Dawn went freaking down there. And that's why the law enforcement came down there and had him where, that's when they were like, they wanted him to record them because of Dawn, and they wanted to know what Dawn was saying when he came down there. But Candace, no, she wasn't down there. But do you know anything that they were like what kind of stuff were they planning on doing? Just like were they trying to getting him in trouble, or were they just gonna
They had the plan themselves. So I had said, remember when I had come to you and we were talking on the phone and you had said that I had told you that Benny and I wanted to talk to Fred? Do you remember that?
Yes. Yep.
And you told Fred that would be coming. Do you remember that?
Yes. Okay, yeah.
So way back, I was gonna be going down there, whatnot. Things started getting weird. There were threats being thrown around. In fact, the only people that threatened us, it was Andy and Squall. Scott H got involved in there. I don't know if I would consider what he said a threat. I think he was kind of just piggybacking off of what they said. But Andy Bernard said that he would cut trees down on us and block us in there. Do you remember that?
I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, but
I have it all anyways, even if you don't remember. But this all goes
back
to that.
I remember talking to you, and I remember that whole plan of to go out there. What was that $300 that was that to help Benny get there or something? I heard that $300.
The $300 was Benny paying Andy to get on the property at 125. But what Benny did was Benny gave the money to Adrienne, Krama Mama, and she pocketed the money or gave it to Andy as her own money or whatever. And they went up there, leaving Benny behind, and took his money.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what happened with the $300. So, and Benny was supposed to be giving Andy more money because that was the deal. That wasn't all. Andy wanted more. Andy does ask for payment when, he's doing, it's not just a favor for summer or anything like that. It's compensation type of thing. So,
I wonder what Ryan paid him, if any. Yeah, that's
I
right.
think that was a pretty penny.
Too.
I
I
think
wonder if Ryan and them knew each other beforehand. Have you talked to Jody Sue about like where Ryan came from? Like,
well, I've done extensive research on Ryan, and I know, well, you and I haven't talked, but Ziggy, I think
yeah,
you should know some things. He only lived 20 minutes from you in Indiana.
yeah,
Before
he told me.
moved. Yeah.
Yeah, he told me that he had family up there and stuff, but
Yep. So he works for a company that does data analysts work for social media. Ryan, I haven't even spoken on all this. I have a list a mile long. He works for a man from the Middle East. I have all of this, so I will send it to you if you want. I don't know how you want to talk through email.
It's just weird how he came about. Like, that's just a whole other.
Oh, absolutely. He's here for his own reasons. It's not anything to do with Summer. He has over 400,000 followers on Pinterest. Ryan does. He refuses to share Summer's information on Pinterest to 400,000 people. He moved to where he's living now, literally, I think it was 14 months before Summer went missing. And he used to do hiking for his family member. I'm going to get into all that.
Oh, yeah, his brother I know. I remember him saying that. And that was at the beginning, and that was like, okay, I was like, oh, this guy seems like I thought he was like an intellectual, would be about the facts, and
he is literally on some kind of mission. What that is, I think I completely understand after digging through and doing the research I've done on him. I did all that way back when. I think it was right before you and him fell out, but you and I haven't talked, so I never did share any of that with you. But I've always been like, wow, I wonder if he knows this, and this, because there's a lot actually people really do need to know about Ryan. And we could talk about that sometime. I don't know if you want to do live on that, but I would be more than willing to share with you.
Yeah, and I know people are upset that we're talking or whatever, but you guys, we can all talk about the case and be adults. Like, it's fine.
I'm not here to bother Ziggy. I'm literally here to discuss this because what she was just talking about, actually,
we don't have to talk about the things we don't, we disagree about or don't agree with each other about. I mean, we could just talk about, and I know people are upset, but I don't.
My Sunday night, pretty much for me, because I go back to work in the morning, so I don't have a lot of time to stay up here. I actually have to go in a few minutes, but I wanted to, and Ziggy, I would like to talk to you a little bit more offline if possible, because I don't want to put out everything in public. I don't really move around with these assholes in public, because the more I say, they get ahead of and try to cover up and clean up, because the main people who are trying to distract and deflect, okay, it's not just Jenny, it's not just Adrian. Dietz is involved in this, Chasing Truth. This is not just Jenny. It's a lot. And I have been literally watching them completely ignore Summer and not give a flying crap, all for Andy Bernard. And I don't understand it. While attacking Fred for whatever reason. Now, I don't know who's guilty of what, right? But I do see what's happening from a different perspective, where I could say, okay, I don't see Fred and Ziggy dogpiling onto Andy, but I do see all of them dogpiling onto Fred. So if they had something of substance, why on that 13-hour phone call would Jenny and Adrian and Penny be discussing what they're going to do when they go out there, right? And that's another thing. I had already said to them that Benny and I were going to meet up with Fred. So this is another thing. There's a lot going here. So that's when the door opened for all of, and I'm like listening to this phone call that I had with Jody, and then I'm listening to you, and I'm seeing Jenny in the chat, and you saying, you know, Jenny, like, I don't agree with Tiffany on everything, but I think this is important to play. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's important that I speak on the things that, you know, they were doing in the phone call, because I want the truth for Summer. I don't want all of these lies and all of this bullshit hidden. You're going to just pocket it away and hide it forever. That's not where it belongs, because Summer is still missing. Okay. I haven't forgotten about her, but they seem to only be focusing on Andy and trying to, I don't know, annihilate Jody for the last, I don't know how many years. But they're not just doing that to Jody. They have other people that they target. They just don't do it out in the open. Everything's behind the scenes. So their plan was to get not Andy, to get Fred into their, you know, wherever they were going to meet up with him. Did they ever meet up with Fred?
No, nobody's ever talked to Fred except Ryan talked to Fred one time on the phone, like a short time when he was in jail, but that's it. Nobody has talked.
Ever said that Jenny or Adrian or Chasing or anyone tried to get in touch with him when they were out there, the multiple times they went out there?
No, they never tried to get a hold of him, and nor did they get a hold of me and to try to arrange that.
Scott, you could speak to the things that they were talking about doing with Fred. You were on that phone call. Scott H, she's in chat, and I don't watch her, so I will not. No, I don't watch her. Scott could probably tell you about the things. All right, so Fred's in chat. He says no. He says that they never did try to meet up with him. Are you sure that they didn't identify themselves as someone else? Has he ever seen them?
No, nobody's ever came out there. Out to 125. Nobody, or out to, I'm sorry, not 125. Out to 165 or 207 to Fred, the Hill property. No, nobody's ever came out there, or nobody's even asked to talk to. Nobody's came out there and asked to talk to Fred, like zero, since the beginning of the case, which doesn't even make sense. People act so scared of him. So.
Okay, because that kind of even more so makes me wonder. I think that you need to maybe. Are you sure, Fred, that no one ever came around knocking for you?
Doesn't mean that they didn't try coming down there, but yeah, gosh, right. Most people. I didn't even. Gosh, that I'm trying to think when that would have been around the time. What that would have been a couple years ago, right? Probably, or a year and a half ago.
He said, "I'm sure." Okay.
Well, I don't know if they would. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think she ever got a hold of me and asked me to meet her. I was trying so hard to get people to talk to Fred, because I knew if they would just meet up with him and talk to him, that they would see what kind of guy he was, really, you know.
You feel like they avoided talking to Fred?
It seems to be what everybody else has done for some reason. I don't know. Like, I don't know if they were scared or what.
Well, King Flea, because their plans were definitely not to avoid Fred. So I'm wondering what changed.
Who?
Jenny.
So who would it have been? It would have been Jenny, Adrian, and Chasing?
Well, Chasing wasn't a part of it at that point yet, though.
Oh, okay.
It was Jenny and Adrian. Penny was never going. So it was only Jenny and Adrian.
Dawn's PI, other than, do you know?
Gavel wrote in the chat but got deleted. I wouldn't mind knowing what she said. Are you able to see what it said, Ziggy?
Yeah, I don't. It
Only
said, hold on. She was saying that she never said anything or never said anything about Fred, but about like, she said something about not involved in what nutcase. There is no text about Fred from me, nor has there ever been any conversation about.
wasn't a text. It was on a 13-hour phone call, Jenny. It wasn't in a text, and you're not going to do that. You're not going to say it was in a text. It's not in a text. It was on the 13-hour call. So I didn't say a text. I'm not sure why you'd write it. It was in a text because it wasn't. It was on the phone call. That's why I just asked Scott, and he disappeared the second I asked. See, this is what I'm talking about. You can call me a nutcase all you want, Jenny. That's what people do when they're trying to discredit people, and you're not going to discredit me. Okay? I don't know what all you people are trying to do still, all this time later. You're the one with something to hide, not me. No, I didn't say it was in a text. Don't call me a liar. Ziggy, I'm sitting right here with you. I just said it was on the 13-hour phone call multiple times. You want it to be in a text, right, Jenny? Because there's nothing in text about it. It's on the call. I can't help that, but that's not my problem. You're not going to change the story while I'm sitting right here. I just said it. Anyone can go back and listen. You could put out the call or not. That's not up to me. I don't have the call. I'm sitting here telling Ziggy what you all were plotting to do, right? And you don't like it. This is what you don't want. You don't want me to talk to Ziggy. You don't want me to tell Ziggy anything, right? I didn't foresee her teaming up with Fred in any way, shape, or form at that time, but I remember now, today. So Jody is actually getting a lot done over there, I suppose, because you don't want her listening to that phone call either. Why would you be bothered by a recorded phone call you weren't even on? That phone call was recorded of me. I'm not upset about it. But you are? That's strange, Jenny.
No, yeah, she said Tiffany did say she had text about Fred, but not about right? I mean, you do have text about Fred.
Yeah, I have,
but
not about what I just told you about when they
not
were
about the plan.
Yeah, you should back up, rewind, and listen again. I think you're just too quick to respond, Jenny. You people listen and hear what you want to hear, and then you flip it, chop it, and screw it within 2 seconds flat. You're not going to do that. I'm sitting right here speaking, and I know what I just said. Thanks. See, Jenny is always on cleanup mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, she did say the plan, guys, was on the call. She said the plan was on the call. And I
what they
understand
plan to do with
too, but
oh yes.
so I can
went
see why
back.
people got it confused. But she was talking about the call, that the plan, that she even said herself she didn't have it recorded. She didn't have any proof of it, that we would just have to take her word. That's what Tiffany said at the beginning.
What I said about the text, thank you, Ziggy. I'm glad you remember, because this one here in chat wants to flip everything that I just said. What I said about the text was that while I was listening to this live, I plugged Fred's name into my text. And yes, I do have a whole bunch of texts about Fred. Yes, some of them are from you, Jenny. You can't delete those like you tried to delete all of our correspondence in Facebook Messenger. I have all those. And you know what, Jenny? When it comes down to it, if court ever decides to subpoena all of those messages from you to me in Messenger, they don't get deleted legally. They might be deleted on my end. I have all that screen recorded. That wouldn't help in court, though. Facebook will give all of that to the court. You know that, right? Careful. Stop fucking with me, Jenny. And stop fucking with people and their children and their families. Fred's name is nowhere in where, Jenny? She's saying Fred's name is nowhere in there. I have all of them right here. My iCloud is full. I pay for 2T storage. Nothing is gone from my text. So I'd really like to know why she's in here worrying about this. Look how worried she is. See, Ziggy, that's all you need to see.
Well, I mean, I know that she says she hasn't said anything. I'm not trying to like, but I already know she's been out there talking bad about me and Fred. I already know. And that was the one I didn't care. I didn't have any loyalties to Adrian. I mean, I didn't have any real loyalties to Jenny either, but I thought she was very intelligent. And
Well, back then, I think you were even close to Fred, though, Ziggy. Like back then, this wouldn't have been something that you would have even gotten upset about anyway. I don't think. Because when did you start?
Well, no, I've been talking to Fred from the very beginning. You know,
not always like romantically, right?
Yeah, no. Only in like the last a little over a year, or no, year about. But but we've been talking since January of 2022, and at first, like, it took a few times, you know, looking into him, talking to him, until I actually started really sticking up for him, because I just truly believe that he's innocent. And I just truly believe him. And that's just the truth, because of everything, because of my own research, everything that I put together, and everything that keeps pointing towards certain ones. You know, it's not that I'm just defending Fred blindly, and that's what people want to think, but it is what it is.
Well, I think that, I mean, you would probably have the right to defend Fred on things.
I'm sorry, Tiffany, but you say that. You keep saying that he lied. You keep saying that, but you don't freaking tell us anything he lied about. You tell us about Cotton, his opinion on Cotton's voice in a recording, if it was Cotton or not. You said it was a lie because Fred said that he thought that was Cotton. That was your lie that you came up with. That's a lie?
Jenny,
where's the lies about some
coerce Fred with cocaine, and you're going to tell her that you think Fred lied? You said you were going to try to get Fred to buy cocaine from you, or you were going to try to get him to sell you cocaine. Tell me you weren't. Go ahead, Jenny.
Wow.
Go ahead. Lie about it.
Fred, that's not even, I don't know if he sold cocaine, but the meth. See, if anybody had to do that and try to set somebody up, then that shows me a lot.
Yep.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying it happened. I'm just saying, like, or that it was even said. I'm just saying, like, when people have to resort to that stuff, it shows a lot. Like, why do you have to trip? If somebody's guilty, they're guilty. You know what I mean?
But I even get that. Are you fucking serious? Okay, Jenny, whatever you say. I believe nothing you fucking say ever, because I know you now well enough to know all you do is lie. I didn't know then, but I sure as fuck do now. Anyways, Ziggy, I have
a hard time getting cocaine because he would probably not have that. But I don't think he would have been that stupid to sell her anything. But I don't know.
I don't know if he or not, but
they were trying to get on his good side over a period of time, maybe, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I sure would like to know why she's sitting here lying. This is not a rumor mill, Jenny. You said it on the call. This is a rumor mill. It's not a rumor mill when I'm on the call with you and heard you myself. And I don't believe it was for personal use. I think she was trying to set Fred up. But listen, Ziggy, do you want me to send everything that I have?
Yes, please. If you have anything about Fred, that'd be amazing. And thank you so much for coming up.
Give me a little bit because I do have to work.
Oh yeah, you don't have to do it right this second.
My phone number is still the same. Reach out if you need anything. And my email is in my about if you need anything. You people want the truth. Jenny is going to have to be honest for once in her life. I'll wait. She's going to continue doing this. So, all right. Anyways, I'll talk to you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Right.
And thanks for your chat being respectful. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. I'm sure that not everybody was completely respectful, but you know, and I know people are gonna be upset with me, but she wanted to tell me something. And I'm not saying that I automatically believe everything she says. Okay, Jenny, I'm not saying that, but I do know you don't like Fred. And for some reason, you've been out and you've teamed up with other people to try to discredit him, and it doesn't make sense. Unless it's like with absolute proof of stuff. But you don't have to, if you have to make somebody trip up or anything, then there's something wrong with that. You know what I mean? Not that I'm saying that was for real, but I do know that you haven't bad about me and Fred. I do know that part. But it is what it is. We've all said things. But I know, but I'm just saying though, you would put out information like videos trying to act like he lied about this and that, and sitting there calling him a liar over and over again to try to dog whistle. And I know I use that word that she just used, but that's what it is, to try to, keep repeating the word so people will associate Fred as a liar, but you just say he's a liar, a liar, a liar, a liar. And you say that when he gives his opinion, and that's not fair. He's allowed to have an opinion too, and I would think his opinion would be even more valuable than many of ours because he's lived in the area his whole life and been around these people and been around, obviously, because of his, I guess we'll just say, line of work. He's going to been around some people, not so good people. So he's going to, and obviously law enforcement trusted him enough to have him record, and obviously didn't think he was. And now, unless you're trying to say, are you saying that he lied about recording for law enforcement? And you guys, somebody said Jenny wasn't asking to come up. You guys, that's why she wasn't up here, because she didn't ask. Plus, I was not really hoping to have I wasn't really wanting to have a all-out brawl. It doesn't get anything done. Well, she asked Tia. She asked her around. It's just that basically someone's word against the others, really. It's an opinion. Exactly. Opinion, Jenny. Opinion. Your opinion is different than Fred's. Me and your opinions are different. Opinions. The only thing Fred's saying for a fact is that your buddy Andy was on the road that afternoon. Do you have any explanation why he would be on there? And if you've done your homework, you would have talked to locals. I mean, you went there. Did you talk to anybody? Try to look at, or did anybody that was going to have some negative information about Andy were you going to steer clear from? You guys act like I just believe everything that Tiffany just all said, like, just because I was being cordial to her. No, I was being adult. You want drama. That's all. Some of you guys just want drama, and that's just what. And I'm not gonna sit here and. I was already trying to calm down because I was already riled up from earlier. So, you guys asked me to have her up here. Many of you guys kept asking over and over. So, and she was asking. So and she agreed to be cool. So I why not? Okay. I could always have dropped her if she started being rude. But just because I'm not sitting here attacking at her doesn't mean I believe everything she just says. I'm going to automatically believe that, she was going to buy cocaine off Fred or try to buy Fred. I don't. But I do believe that you've been trying to make Fred look bad. Yes, I do believe that for reasons for Andy's purposes. And it's like, why? I know, but we have to be adults and talk to each other if we're wanting to find answers. Because all of us have talked to different people, have got made friendships or whatever with certain people that others of us haven't. So if we come together and try to decipher, well, a lot of that was probably not true that she said. I'm sure there is some truth to it. And I am completely aware that Tiffany's mad at all these people. But I remember that incident, and I was really not happy with that whole thing either. But I wasn't involved in it, so I tried my best to stay out of it. But I absolutely do remember Tiffany did contact me with Benny and asked to try to talk to Fred. Now, so she knew that she had to know we were cool because that was way back when you guys were planning. People have always given me a hard time for letting certain people up on my panel, but it doesn't matter to me. I feel like certain people should know better. But see, like, she's just saying that. If there's some kind of proof to it that later comes out, then I'm going to be like, yeah, that's some fucked up shit. Trying to set somebody up, But there's been a lot of that. There has been a lot of people trying for some reason. One of them being Fred's own sister, the evil sister, but see, people don't understand. They think, because Fred's one sister says these things about him, then that automatically means, he must be bad. She's been like that her whole life. Oh, well, Valerie, this would have been before he was in jail. The incident she's talking about was before he was in jail. It was a couple of years ago, or a year and a half ago or so. It was when all those creators were trying to sneak and go to Ben Hill. They were trying to plan a trip together. Yeah, even Fred's been, he just messaged me and reminded me too. Yeah, Fred's been robbed several times or attempted robberies and stuff like that since all this stuff because of people thinking he has drugs up there and this and that. He has, there has been attempted people come up there and I need a bubble bath, says Michelle Folke. BS, I was just wondering where you've been. But do you know of her Scott trying to set Fred up? Or do you know anything about a plan to you know anything about a plan to try to mess with Fred in some way? You don't remember hearing anything like that on that phone call? All right. All right, guys. Well, I blame Katie's. Who's this blame Katie? I've heard her name a lot lately. Yeah. I'm gonna get off here for now and just take a break from YouTube for a little bit, or for not just for a couple hours. Okay, I'm not talking about forever. I'm just saying, calm down. That's part of the reason why I don't do panels anymore, because I just really hate conflict, guys. I really, really, really do. And it's hard for me, like when I hear something I know that I feel or I know is not true, and it's hard for me. I get passionate and I get my voice gets elevated, and then that gets the other person all going and stuff. So it's a big part my fault too, because my voice, I can't when I'm passionate about something and I believe something, I can get kind of, antsy, and it doesn't accomplish anything if we're just going to yell right back. Because if somebody comes up on my panel and starts saying her lying about Fred, calling him a liar, it just over and over again without any type of proof, I'm going to get pretty upset. Because that's all that Jenny does for some reason, wants to use the word liar in Fred's name nonstop, in hopes that everybody I guess it's to make, I take it as a way to keep the eyes off Andy for some reason. Oh, well, thank you, Sage Toledo. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Country Girl, Day Tripper, everybody, Jessica. And yeah, Jenny is welcome to come up here. She didn't ask to come up here. I mean, not right this second, but in the future, if she wants to. But she said too, she doesn't want to yell. And it's going to be really hard because we're really irritated, but right now, both of us. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.